Alright, so I've seen a lot of performance complaints about MindsEye online, and I thought to test it out for myself. And I don't know what everybody's complaining about. Look at that frame time graph. We are getting 80 frames per second. The frame time graph is exceptionally smooth. We are testing here with the 9070 XT and the 7800 X3T. And alright, for those of you who weren't too sure, that was obviously just a jest. The game's performance is kind of rough, okay? I'm going to just show you some performance numbers here. I'm just doing this one mission. Unfortunately, the game does not allow me to do free roam just yet. I haven't gotten that far in the game. But on the outskirts of town, like we are doing here, the performance is not as bad as it is in town. Now, a lot of footage that I've seen online was mostly in town, and we'll get there, right? We'll drive to town as well to see what the performance is like. But yeah, we are with the 7800 X3D and 9070 XT and 32 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 megatransfers per second CL30 memory. And just look at the frame time graph, right? When you are driving around, the frame time graph is exceptionally bad. It really is very bad. We are at 1440p here on the Epic preset with FSR set to quality. FSR is a whole different can of worms here in this game. It looks absolutely horrible, right? I'm not sure if it'll come across in the YouTube video, and that's another issue I have with the game, but I'll get to that, right? Before we just bash the game, I'm not that's not my plan here at all. I actually refunded the game, but I decided to rebuy it and give it a chance. Okay, I'm not going to tell you to try to give the game a chance as well. Okay, I'm going to tell you to not buy the game yet. Okay, there are some performance patches that are supposed to start rolling out on Friday. Okay, I'm recording this in the wee hours of the morning on Thursday before work, but just look at the frame time graph again. It's literally unplayable. We are dropping into the high 40s there for our frame rate. The moment you start standing still, we are back to 60 frames per second. Frame time graph is okay-ish, okay? And you can even move the camera around. Sure, you do get some frames, lower frames here and there, but the frame time graph is okay. The moment you start driving, that's when the issues start, okay? And let me just show you here. The moment you get out of the car, the frame time graph is even flatter, but our frame rate is slightly lower in this specific spot. You can actually walk around and it feels okay, right? So I think the issue here is data streaming. I mean, it doesn't it doesn't feel good. It's much better than when driving. But just look at the fence there in the background. FSR really looks pretty bad in this game. I really hope they can fix it. I haven't tried OptiScaler yet. I want to do that when the performance patches start dropping, and as I said, the first one is slated for Friday. I will do a full video once we've seen some performance patches. Then I'll test a few GPUs and a few CPUs. Now, one thing that I will tell you is that in the city center here, the 13900K performs quite a bit better than the 7800 X3D, although it does not perform well. Okay, it performs less bad. Okay, so dropping into the high 40s there, that's just unacceptable, I think, right? But okay, so you're saying we are running on the Epic preset and Unreal Engine 5 game. That's just terrible. You're right, we should not be using Epic preset on Unreal Engine 5 games. So let's drop it to the high preset. I did not want to make this video initially, right? My plan was to basically refund the game and never look at it again, but as I said, I thought, okay, maybe I'll just give it a shot. And now I want to just show you what the performance is like as it stands. And that car's breakdancing. As it stands at the moment before any patches. And then I will do full videos once we start seeing some performance patches, because I want to see if the developers can fix this game. Because I do think that there is some promise in this game. It can be a good game if it is fixed. Okay, I haven't had many bugs myself, like that car breakdancing there. That was a bug, obviously, but progression related bugs or game breaking bugs, I haven't had any of that. Okay, it's not a perfect it's definitely not a perfect experience. My biggest issue is just the performance. Okay, we definitely need the performance to be addressed here. Now, FSR, as I said, looks horrible in this game. You can just see in the distance there, the light flickering. It really looks bad. And then couple that with the lumen. We know that lumen can look quite okay, but it has its issues, right? I'm not the biggest fan of software lumen because there are a lot of artifacting. And then this happens, right? When you start driving very fast in the car, the camera starts to move down and then you can't see where you're going. Sure, we went up a hill there and that's when it happened, but sometimes it actually happens when I'm driving on the freeway as well. So it is annoying. I'm just driving around. I'm just giving you an idea what the performance is like here. As I said, I really hope they can fix it, because while the gunplay is not the best, it's not the worst either. I'm about 4 or 5 hours into the game and I haven't had a terrible experience when it comes to story, gunplay. Driving is very good. Okay, I really do like the driving mechanics, especially like the buggies when you go off-road and that kind of stuff, right? I mean, driving is not realistic, but it feels fun. The biggest issue for me is just the performance. If they can sort that out, then I wouldn't mind playing the game. Like, sure, a lot of people have experienced game-breaking bugs. That is also that should be a priority as well. I haven't had many of those, as I said. Sorry for repeating myself, but yeah, I haven't had many of those, and it's just the performance. The visuals with the DLSS, it's actually pretty good. Okay, FSR looks pretty bad. I want to just enable frame generation. Yeah, not this one. One thing, please disable motion blur. Motion blur causes a lot of artifacting, and it looks terrible with motion blur enabled, even worse than it does now. So just FSR 3 quality at the moment. So let's just go ahead and enable FSR frame generation. The game does support DLSS, FSR, and XSS frame generation, which is pretty good. Okay. Now with DLSS frame generation, it actually can clean up the frame time graph quite a bit, and the same for FSR frame generation. Standing still, the frame time graph is very flat. Okay. The moment you start moving, that's when everything just goes out the window. Like just look at the frame rate there, dropping into the 130s. I've seen it drop into the 80s with frame generation enabled, which means that your base frame rate becomes like a 40-ish frames per second. That just then feels terrible, right? But with frame generation, a DLSS frame generation actually smoothens the experience a little bit, but not always. There's that hotel there that you see in the background. I think it's that one. I had to do a mission there, and it was absolutely horrible, right? The stuttering on even an RX 5080 with a 3900K, it was unplayable. But there are some playable areas in the game. The city center is the worst. The outskirts are better. The factory, where most of your time is spent up until now, is quite okay. Ghosting is an issue. Just look at the ghosting in the back of the car here. There's a lot of technical issues with this game. That said, if they can fix it, I think it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money to fix this game. But if they can fix it, I think it'll be a good game. Okay. At the moment, it's just the performance that holds it back for me. And the way the developers actually handled the launch, it's a little bit concerning. That's why I think maybe it won't get fixed properly, because we had execs leave the company a week before launch. Then we had that's quite a lot of screen flashing there for some reason. Then we had sponsored streams being cancelled right as the stream starts, like that kind of stuff, right? It's a little bit concerning. I think the devs are maybe concerned about the state of the game, and they should be, because from a technical perspective, it's a mess. And the only reason why I did not refund it, it wasn't that expensive here for us. It's $25, right? And I just want to see if they can fix it. if they can fix it, I'll play the game, no problem, and I think I'll have a good time. But until then, I'm going to tell you not to buy the game, right? Buy it later if it gets fixed. It is an unplayable mess at the moment in most areas. Okay, some areas decent, but most areas it is unplayable. As you can see, once again, dropping into the low 90s there with frame generation enabled. We're not doing anything, and then all of a sudden the frame rate starts increasing. So I think what can happen is there's a lot of NPCs and a lot of cars here, right? Maybe not specific spot, but overall in general. So I think what they probably will do is to reduce the amount of NPCs and cars, because sometimes there's legit traffic jams, okay, just from the amount of cars in the game. So maybe they can save some performance by doing that, by reducing the number of NPCs and cars. And as I said, on foot, the performance is mostly okay in the city. During missions, not so much, but it's when you start driving when everything starts falling apart. So as I said, I'm going to be doing some full-blown videos once we see a few patches. I'll do my first video starting tomorrow night, and then we'll see how it progresses from there and see if the promised patch actually helps a bit and where we stand with the game. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, we hope to see you in the next one.